What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Seeking Sister Wife Season 5, Episode 10, Seeking a Deeper Understanding. So let's get started with Danielle and Garrick. So all three of them now are in Brazil. Now, Danielle has recently arrived specifically to attend the wedding of Garrick and Natalia, but unfortunately there's going to be no wedding because the Brazilian government denied them their marriage license because the Brazilian government got wind that Garrick is living a plural lifestyle. So it isn't even that he's married to another person, because him and Danielle are no longer legally married because they got a divorce, but simply that he's living a plural lifestyle. And I'm just like wondering to myself, what was it that triggered the Brazilian government to want to look into Garrick's personal life, or to look for his social media presence or his internet presence to find out that, he has a family in America and he's also trying to marry this Brazilian woman. Now, someone in my comments had said that it was probably Danielle that fed them that information, because the tension, the jealousy between Natalia and Danielle, it's pretty thick. So I wouldn't be surprised if Danielle was the one that had tipped off the Brazilian government. So all three of them are sitting in the living room at Garrick and Natalia's apartment, or Natalia's apartment. I don't know where they're staying at. If it's Natalia's place or if it's an Airbnb that they rented, I don't know. But they're all sitting in the living room and they're talking about, the wedding being canceled. And Natalia's really upset about that. You can see it on her face that she's extremely disappointed and sad that her wedding got canceled. And Garrick is also upset about it. And then the conversation turns toward Danielle's pregnancy. So as Danielle is talking about her pregnancy, Natalia, who is sitting next to Danielle, is literally giving Danielle the look of death. If looks could kill, Danielle would have been slaughtered on that couch, because the way Natalia looked at her, it was just, to me, it was like intense hate, and like disgust at Danielle. It chilled me to the bones, the way that she looked at this woman. And Garrick says that Natalia is really depressed and really sad. And he also says that him and Natalia were actually actively trying to conceive. And that kind of, took me back a little bit, because I was like, Garrick and Natalia are actually trying to have a baby? Because I would have thought that they would have waited until they were actually married and Natalia was living in the United States. But he said that they were actively trying to have a baby, him and Natalia, which to me is like putting the cart before the horse. Like, you don't even know if your wedding is going to happen, if you're going to be able to get married, if the immigration stuff will even go through, if she's going to come to the United States, when she's going to come to the United States. So you're going to leave her high and dry as a single mom, at least part-time, if she was to actually get pregnant before anything has been confirmed, before anything has gone through. I thought that was just a little bit irresponsible of both of them. So there was a moment when Natalia actually thought that she was pregnant. And I guess, she found out that she wasn't. And then to hear that Danielle was pregnant, I can kind of see why Natalia would think that Danielle probably got pregnant by Garrick on purpose. Especially if Danielle knew, which I'm thinking that she probably did know, that Garrick probably did tell her that, Natalia was trying to get pregnant. And I think that I don't know why, but I just cannot shake the feeling that there's a big possibility that Danielle got pregnant on purpose. And her whole thing about it's just a coincidence because I haven't gotten pregnant in 14 years. Girl, we don't know what's going on between you and your body and your gynecologist. And we don't know what kind of birth control you may or may not. Girl, we don't know nothing about that. You can tell us anything because we'll never know the truth. So it's just too coincidental that when she's feeling all of this insecurity, and also Natalia trying to have Garrick's baby, that all of a sudden Danielle pops up pregnant. I don't know for sure. I'm not going to bet my life on it, but I do get that inkling that there's a possibility Danielle got pregnant on purpose to try to either beat Natalia to it, or to try to get Garrick's attention back on her, because she's been feeling very left out, very third wheel, very ousted in this whole throuple situation. So after that, all three of them go to the doctor for Danielle's ultrasound, and they get to see the baby. And, Natalia you can tell that she's really struggling with this because she's probably thinking that should have been her getting her ultrasound. Danielle has what Natalia herself wanted. So I'm pretty sure Natalia was really struggling with this. And I keep on thinking back to, I wonder how Garrick, how he's able to be happy for him and Danielle for having another baby, but then to also, be sympathetic and understanding with Natalia for their wedding not going through and her not getting pregnant when she thought she was pregnant. So, to me, I feel like Garrick is probably on emotional overload, but then again, this is what he wants. He wants multiple wives. So Natalia and Garrick had planned a party. Well, so the day that the wedding was supposed to take place, I guess there was going to be like a party or something, I don't know, at their apartment. They still want to go through with everything as far as the party because all of Natalia's friends had come over. And Natalia had talked about, as we're all sitting there in the living room, Natalia had talked about Garrick ignoring her after they had seen the ultrasound, after Danielle's ultrasound. And she felt like, Garrick was not giving her enough attention, that maybe he wasn't showing enough concern for her because she never got pregnant or she wasn't able to get pregnant. And here we are at, your other wife's ultrasound. And Danny denies this. Danny tells the friends that, no, that's not true, that Garrick had ignored her after my ultrasound. I felt like, he gave her plenty of attention. Garrick says that the advantages of being in a plural type relationship and having sister wives is that they can comfort and support each other. So whatever the man is not bringing to the table, they should be able to find that within each other. And so he really wants Danielle and Natalia to get along. Danielle said that she felt left out when they were making arrangements for the wedding. So, both of these women are talking about moments where they have felt really left out. And I'm thinking that that's very legit. It's very real. When you have a situation where there's 3 people, the 2 women are not really that close. Both of them want 100% of the man. The man is trying to do. I don't know why people would want to get into a situation like this. Like, I really don't understand, because the jealousy feelings, like I said, are so real. And Natalia and Garrick, they're trying to start something. So maybe Natalia feels like she needs to get so much of Garrick's attention because they're trying to build and start a new relationship, get to know each other. Whereas, Danielle feels like, I'm the number one wife. I've been here all along. Don't act like you forgot who I am. And plus, I'm having your baby. I need attention too. I just don't know. Like I said, I don't know why anybody would want to live like this. So Danielle talks about how she felt left out when Garrick and Natalia were making their wedding arrangements. And she felt like Natalia was not trying to bond with her at all or to develop any type of relationship with her at all. So then Natalia says that for her, it takes time to warm up to people, and that she's not that emotional of a person. She's not the kind of person to express all of her feelings. So for her, it really takes time to get close to someone. Danielle begins to cry, saying that, yes, she does see how Natalia is a little bit more closed off than she would like. So Danielle is crying now. And she says that she felt really shut out. And Garrick, he starts crying because he just wants everybody to get along. And I'm thinking to myself, with Garrick crying and Danielle crying nearly every single damn day, I'm surprised that Natalia hasn't dropped these people and moved on. Like, can you take all of this emotion like every single day? Garrick cries at the drop of a dime. Danielle cries at the drop of a damn dime. And that's just not Natalia's personality at all. I don't know how she's going to deal with all of this. So Natalia feels really bad for Danielle, I guess. I don't know how genuine it was, but she gets up and she gives Danielle a hug. And Danny tells us in her confessional that Natalia really does not understand what it means to be in a plural lifestyle. She is still treating her relationship with Garrick as if it's a monogamous relationship and that she deserves 100% of Garrick's time and attention. The friend says that Garrick needs to find a way to share his time between the 2 women. The friends are not really supportive of Natalia living this type of lifestyle and getting involved with this couple. They don't really care for it, but it seems like Natalia has made up her mind that she wants to go through with it. So the friend was saying, he needs to figure it out, how to make each woman feel like they're a priority. So later on in the day, They all go out to dinner because it is the last day in Rio for Garrick and Danielle. And so they're all at dinner, and Natalia says that hopefully the baby will bring them closer together. And when she said this, the look on Danielle's face was like shocked. She was actually shocked that Natalia says something positive about the baby. And so Garrick talks about how the trip has been a real roller coaster. He went to Brazil thinking that he was going to get married. That didn't happen. Then he found out he was going to have another child. So it's been a lot for Garrick. And Garrick, he tells Danielle, well, since it's our last night, I'm going to go ahead and spend our last night here with Natalia. We knew. Garrick, we knew. You don't have to announce that. We knew, she knew. We know that you're trying to get as much of Natalia as you possibly can, because that seems to be, you know, like your number one. So I feel like whenever Garrick looks at Natalia, and it was the same with Roberta, whenever he looks at Natalia, there's like so much, like, dare I say, like love and care in his eyes when he looks at Natalia, because Natalia, you know, she was talking about how it's going to be their last night there and she's going to miss them. And, you know, she wanted to give Garrick a kiss. And so they were exchanging kisses right there at the dinner table in front of Danielle. And when he looks at her, it's like with so much love. And I'm not saying that he doesn't love Danielle, but that same look is not there when he looks at Danielle. And maybe because, you know, Danielle is tried and true. You know, she's going to be there. She'll always be there. Or I don't know. Maybe because he's just so used to her. I don't know. But that look of tenderness just isn't there. And the fact that she's having his baby, I don't see that look of tenderness whenever he looks at Danielle. Maybe I'm putting 20 on 10. I'm reading into stuff that's really not there. But that's just what it seems like to me. Let's move on to Nyla and Naim. So Nyla and Naim, they're once again having dinner with Naim's mother. And they're still I don't know why. I guess because nothing else is happening with their storyline. So the mother-in-law has become their storyline, trying to convince this woman. And it's not even like even trying to convince her, because they keep saying, well, at the end of the day, we're going to do what we want. Okay, so why do you keep bringing this woman, you know, around to try to convince her that this lifestyle is legit? There's nothing you can say or do to make this woman agree with what the hell y'all are doing. So why do y'all keep trying? But anyway, once again, it's another dinner with the mother-in-law. This time they have invited one of their friends whose name is Jo. She is also in a plural relationship, but her plural relationship is a little bit different because she's involved with both the man and the woman romantically. She doesn't live with her couple, but she comes to visit them. And when she comes to visit them, they all sleep in the same bed and they all get down at the same time. I don't know, whatever. So they brought this friend along to try to help convince the mother-in-law that, you know, plurality or plural lifestyles or polygamy, it's, you know, it's great, it's wonderful. You should accept it. Okay, so fine. So when the mother shows up, she's looking at Jo, the friend, like, what the hell is this? Because she thought that Jo was there as their potential sister wife. So the mother was like already, you know, like, I don't want to be no parts of this. I don't want no parts of this. She was actually trying to put her jacket back on and to leave the restaurant. And they're like, no. She's just a friend. Okay. She's involved in her own relationship with her own people. She is just a friend of ours. So the mother decides to go ahead and stay. And let me see. Okay. She decides to go ahead and stay. So as she's talking, as they're, you know, getting to know each other or whatever, Jo is explaining to the mother-in-law, you know, her situation. She says, you know, she's explaining that she's involved with a couple, but she's involved with both of them. And she explains to the mother-in-law that this is not just sexual. Polygamy is not about, you know, threesomes and foursomes and all this other stuff. It's about building a family, a relationship, building bonds and friendship. It's beyond just sex. It's not just about sex. You know, people trying to get freaky. So Nyla did say that in their confessional, Nyla says to us that she can't imagine sleeping or being away from Naim at all. So when they do find that sister wife, she's not going to spend a night away from Naim. She's going to be like right there with Naim and this potential sister wife or something like that. And Naim was kind of like, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So the mother-in-law says that she doesn't approve of this lifestyle because Nyla and Naim have kids. And it might not be in the best interest of the children to live like this. So then Nyla says, well, Mom, at first you said it was disgusting and germy. You didn't like it because you thought that it was really unhygienic. Now you're talking about it's not right for the kids. Now, evidently, Nyla and Naim have already talked to their oldest daughter about this lifestyle. And according to Nyla and Naim, the daughter's okay with it, or she understands and she's not tripping over it. So, and then they're kind of like, you know, why is the mother-in-law so like interested on the children? Why is she interested in how the children feel about it when she herself, the mother-in-law, doesn't even have a relationship with her grandkids? So like, why is she so concerned about what they think about this lifestyle and how this lifestyle could affect them? So Nyla said that they've talked to their daughter about it. She's okay with it. The mother-in-law is just assuming that the kids are not okay with it. This is what Nyla tells her mother-in-law. She's like, you're just assuming that my kids or my daughter doesn't like it or is not okay with it. I'm telling you for a fact that she is because I speak with my daughter. You don't. Nyla and Naim asked the mother-in-law, when was the last time you even talked to the child that you're so concerned about? When was the last time you even had a conversation with her? So then the mother-in-law gets extremely defensive and she tells her son, Naim, you know, you're going to let your wife disrespect me like this? When, you know, Nyla was challenging her, like, when is the last time you talked to my daughter? So the mother-in-law said that she is done with Nyla. She's like, I'm done with you. I don't want to talk to you no more. Then, and Nyla was like, you know, you do you. That's fine with me. I really don't give a damn. And then the mother-in-law had threatened to slap Nyla. So as the mother-in-law is getting up to leave, she's like, what if I came across over there and slapped you? And then Nyla was like, and what do you think is going to happen if you do? What do you think is going to happen if you come over here and slap me? So then both women now are standing up as if they're going to tussle. The friend is trying to tell Nyla to calm down. Naim is trying to, like, you know, get in between them and tell both of them to calm the hell down. Luckily, nothing happened. The mother-in-law had the nerve to say to Nyla, you know, you're not even acting like a mother. Okay, but Mom, you are a mother as well, and you're trying to threaten your daughter-in-law with slapping her. That's not very caring and loving and motherly at all. And you stood up first, like you're ready to, you know, get into fisticuffs with your own daughter. Like, what the hell is going on? So all I can say about this couple, there's some serious underlying issues between Nyla and Naim and the mother-in-law. There are some, I don't know what's going on. Because I sensed it on episode 1 that there was something going on between Naim and his mother. Like, there's some type of unresolved childhood trauma between Naim and his mother. And I don't know why they don't talk about it, because it would give us more context as far as why there's so much animosity between the mother-in-law and them. But there's something definitely a whole lot deeper than polygamy going on, because they haven't even chosen a sister wife yet. And it seems like this whole polygamy thing is just really triggering for the mother-in-law and is causing all kinds of tension between her son and her son's wife. There is something else going on here. There is some other type of familial issues between these people. And I really hope we get to the bottom of it before the damn season ends. Moving on to the Davis family. So the Davis family, they have found a potential sister wife. They met her, I think, online. I don't know. They met her online, I think. I'm not really sure where they met her, but her name is Jasmine. And the 3 wives are going to meet her before Nick does, because that's the protocol in their family, is that the wives will meet the potential sister wife and they'll figure out whether or not she can move on to the next step to meet Nick, if she's worthy enough of meeting the great Nick. So, Jasmine is 30 years old. She has a child of her own. She's never been in a polygamous relationship before. So when they all get together at the restaurant, they start off by playing Jenga, and they do like this whole Q&A. and asking each other a whole bunch of questions, trying to get to know each other better. And April, who I call the supervisor because Nick is the manager, and April being the first wife, I call her the supervisor, she says that she wants Danielle to really take the initiative in this meeting and ask a lot of questions and do her best to try to get to know Jasmine better, because, you know, she's the one that is kind of wayward. They're not really sure if Danielle is really here for a long time, if she's really committed to them. And so they need her to show some initiative that she is okay with bringing in another wife, because this was her issue before. She did not want another wife to come into the family. So they want to see her prove herself that she's okay with adding another wife, especially since Danielle is going to be the one that marries the new wife. So I felt like Danielle had a really positive attitude. I see Danielle really trying. She's really trying to change her demeanor and trying to let them know that, hey, I'm really okay with all of this. I'm cool with it. I'm okay with adding another wife. I'm with the plan now. I'm down with whatever the hell y'all want to do. Because she was asking some really good questions. She was asking about jealousy. Basically, all the questions that they asked Jasmine acted as if nothing would bother her about this lifestyle. She said that she had no issues with jealousy. She said that she had no issues with Nick staying home and the women being the providers. She said that she had no issue with having more children. She had no issue with sharing a bed with 4 other people. So all of the challenges that they threw at her, she was like, you know, ducking and dodging them. She's like, oh, everything is fine. Oh yeah, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. And so then April and Danielle were kind of wondering, is she saying this stuff just to kind of, you know, go along with it? Or does she really mean that she's okay with all of this stuff? So they were kind of questioning her sincerity. So, of course, Jasmine is looking forward to meeting Nick. She has no issue with meeting Nick. So later on, when the wives come home, they meet up with Nick and they tell Nick, you know, we met Jasmine. She's really great. Nick has already seen a picture of her. He finds her attractive. And Danielle says that everything went really smoothly. Now, she says that she also wants to give it a chance. So she's acting very positive, very agreeable with this whole situation of bringing in a new wife. April thinks that Danielle may be putting up a front. April really doesn't believe that Danielle is 100% on board. Also, Nick is also questioning whether or not Danielle is actually on board. And I'm like, what does she have to do? You know, I guess she just has to go ahead and get married for them to really believe that she's okay with this. And before that happens, they're going to have doubts on whether or not she's really committed to this lifestyle. Danielle tells us that she's really just, you know, trying to go along to get along. That's what she says in her confession. She's like, you know what? I'm just going to say whatever the hell I got to say to let them know that I'm in agreement with this. I'm not going to challenge anything. I'm not going to disagree with anything, because Danielle doesn't want to live by herself. I don't know if she's like having a problem or had a problem living by herself financially, or what. And it was better to live in this type of arrangement because it was financially feasible for her. But she says, I'm gonna just go along to get along. I'm not gonna be the odd one out. I'm not gonna be the one to challenge anything because I can't change it. Once the group has made the decision, I'm just going to go along with whatever the group wants. I am no longer going to be the one, you know, to challenge or to stand up and say, no, I don't agree with this. I'm just going to go ahead with whatever the hell they want to do. And I'm wondering, like, why are you this agreeable with it, Danielle? Is it really because it just makes more sense to split the rent 3 ways instead of just doing it all on your own? Like, you know, what's tea, Danielle? But she says she's, you know, she's okay with it. And that is that. That is my review. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.